Yo, YouTube. It's Aeflic, and we're dropping a hot new video. We got a new camera angle. We got a new light because apparently I'm 3-4 years old. I like it though. But we're remaining the same me. Anyway, we're taking our talents to Amerish. We're going to discuss Amerish. We're going to have a little chat. We're going to have a little powwow. We're going to have a little sit down about Amerish. A little chit chat and see what we can't see. So how about you lock in so we can get the job done? Yeah, so I've actually just already recorded this video. But I forgot that my intro has the camera in the center of the screen. And so I left it there until I went to editing. And so now I'm going to re-record the entire video. I'm not at all. Anyway, for the second time, we will start with facilities. Mikala Tech, Heyoka Tech, and Tumas Tech. Pretty standard in the tech plant industry. Not a lot of differences here. Maybe a couple buildings on the outskirts, you know, mountaintop here, whatever. They provide the same natural large base flow that I like that tech plants have. You know, the beacon spots for attackers or defenders for resecures. You know, come down here, push through balcony, secure balcony, push down balcony, secure V terms, if that's even a thing for you, and then push down towards point. Once you have point secured, you're gonna, you know, secure these side staircases and the large gun here, aka the balcony that overlooks grinder doors. And then maybe if you're super ambitious, you're gonna push out these, secure crescent, push across crescent, and secure secondary gen. Maybe you're feeling extra lucky and you hold it for half the flip. And then you take down the SCU. But again, nothing special about these tech plants. Just the fact that they're tech plants, and tech plants are amazing. Probably my favorite bases in the entire game. Really like tech plants. And really though, the only other facility on this map is Sun Gray Amp Station. And I think you know why. It's a triple amp station. So if you capture one of these spawns, C, A, B, you get a hard spawn. B point gives you B spawn here. C point gives you hard spawn here. And the A point gives you hard spawn here. It just creates a longer fight. You don't have to worry about defending the one and only bus at the fight. And we talked about it in our video, so we won't go into too much detail, but this should be the future of Planetside. It should have been the future of Planetside a long time ago. And it should have been not only for amp stations, but for a lot of bases. Now, I think that's what we're going to be getting with the containment site on Ezimir, and we'll have to do some testing of that once it actually drops. It's subject to go through some changes, so we'll see. But the idea of securing a capture point and then gaining a hard spawn should be capitalized on a lot more. Again, that ends our facilities. It's just 3 tech plants in this amp station. Again, I'm not a fan of the biolabs. I'm sorry, 1 out of 10 I think is good. They just get bogged down too easily. Again, I don't mind them, but they're not my favorite bases. In regards to the triples, there's KFC, otherwise Araxis Firearms Core. C point here, A point here, B point here. B point doesn't get as much action, or at least I don't travel over here very often. Main spawn's right here, teleporter here. A lot of the time it's just pushing straight out from the teleporter, securing fat stairs, securing this room here, which allows you to flank down here to small stairs or whatnot if you need it. But typically you secure this first. If this is overrun and you can't play this outside area here, which is good because of the obstacles that are out here, you can kind of zigzag in and out. Then typically it's teleporter to the main door here. I'll peek this, get some kills. If I can push straight in, I'll take the grab pads up to the balconies here. And I'll use those balconies once clear to kind of harass and just farm A point. because you have these big doors here and here. And I'll repeat that. I'll rinse and repeat over and over again until it doesn't work anymore. And then you can always go out this side door and come in here, or come in this back side. Sometimes there's a bus out here or a bus inside. Well, I guess I'll just go myself. Okay. Let's move on to triple point bases. KFC, or Rex's Firearm Corps, is not a tower triple. I know, shocking. A point being here in the center, C point here, B point over here, main spawn here, teleporter here. Now, typically speaking, on defense, when I spawn in, I try to clear this powerhouse first through the main door, or if that's a little camp, I might try door 2 and, you know, play around these obstacles out here to get some kills as well. If this is, again, I go big stairs and I try to clear out this room here, and then try to clear out all of this. I don't even really mess with B because there's usually not a lot of people on there, and I feel like I'm more useful pushing C or A where the remainder of the pop's at, and let some, you know, the puppies, if they're going to roll over there, grab that point for me. But my majority of the time I'll try to push this. This is over camped with lots of pop. I'll take teleporter. I'll push this front door. I'll try to clear this front door, take these grab pads up to the balconies on the side, and then I'll just farm A point. I'll rinse and repeat that. Once that fails, I'll maybe try this door here, or try this back door, but a lot of the times there's a bus back here, a bus underneath the balcony here. So this is usually not open, but if it is, I will use that as a flank. Sometimes even all the way back here in a long flank to these big doors back here. If these are not working, I'll just take this run over here, go up the stairs by the vehicle terminal, come down the stairs here, and then I'll use this flank door, which is almost always open, and no one's ever guarding it. Sometimes I can even make a mad dash for the jump pads up here again. If we have secured all of this, then it's time to push C point, and you can push from this door, obviously small stairs, and then kind of roll this backside. You can anvil heavy in a bus right here. So a lot of the times this is like kind of the final main good hold of the base for attackers. And if this is up, I'll usually spawn on, or I'll put a beacon myself over here. But the next push is clearing from balcony these doors, or going on a long flank here and going backside. You can get a good fight in and around here from spawns. The last bus, the spot is underneath the bridge, or way down here or something. And there's a grab pad up that takes them to the bridge. So you get a lot of spawns of people crossing kind of over in this area here, and you can get a lot of picks. Kind of a good little farm right here. And then usually when it gets to the bridge, the fight's about to be over. If you get here first and you can, kind of continue to get your picks, and then you can camp this grab pad up for a second, great. But once you get the tanks and the vehicles over here and you get a bunch more light infantry, then it's, everyone's fighting for that 1 or 2 kills. And at that point I leave. I'm done with the base. Not a bad base attacking or defending, even though it doesn't have a tower. Again, usually I anchor on the C point or this bus over here if I am going to be an attacker. Do not mess with the bus here if I'm attacking though. Granite Valley Garrison. This is an okay triple. I don't get to fight here a lot. It is a tower triple. With the main fight being on this bridge here and this bridge here. So you just pick depending on what point they have. You just drop down. There's a little bit of cover right here. Usually there's people just pushing aggressively from these into the tower. And you just play this area a lot. Sometimes it's just rinse and repeat right here. If you're able to push, you're able to push. Sometimes you have to drop off and then kind of use these flanks on the sides. And then obviously you're just playing this triple here, or playing in this double L building here, which is still pretty fun. Same idea here though. Sometimes it's just rinse and repeat right in this area. If you're able to push, you push, or you can drop off the sides. I don't really ever mess with this area over here. A lot of the times there'll be a bus somewhere in this area, and you can get a good little infantry fight right over here after you clear C, or sometimes you can kind of cut over or jump off the bridge and kind of cut over and get a good little infantry farm over here. Same thing with the hillside over here. There might be a bus deep out here. You can get some good picks up here. Obviously we have our normal beacon placement on top of the tower. If you are going to be attacking, you don't want to take one of the Sunday spawns just because they're so far out. But the whole reason for this beacon is there's so many people sniping on these pads, or shooting off of this, or shooting this way, or shooting this way. that you drop down here and you can just murder so many people that are just not paying attention, and just really help clear the way for friendlies that are trying to move up, just by really getting the most ideal flank in the game, honestly. Let's see here. West Pass Watchtower. This gets a lot of traffic. Another tower base. C point here. B point here. A point in the tower itself. Although the fight is in the tower, I prefer fighting from inside the tower, looking out and kind of like shooting people from the balcony area, not the pad, but the balcony area, and then pushing out and grabbing this high ground here, and then pushing down here, securing these crates, or pushing through either this one or this one underneath the bridge towards C point, and then I'll try to clear C, and then sometimes even behind C if there's a bus all the way back here. You know, if we're super camped in, sometimes you can get a little fight over here at the I. Otherwise, you know, typically speaking, you're going to be getting a fight inside the V/triple here. You can flank on the outside here, or even on the outside here, and just get peeks on the people that are trying to get inside this door. Especially if we own this triple. A lot of the times the attackers are grouping up on this door. You can get some good flanking shots on these sides. And then you're just pushing down on B. Now, obviously, you can push down the center, and that's, you know, that's the shift W mentality. Sometimes it gets ahead of me. But if I'm thinking, I'll try to flank down this side and come in this back door here, or even come down here and go in this door, or, you know, flank around this to get shots or eyes on the Sunday locations in this spot. Sometimes the Sunday's up here. But this is a high trafficked base. Attacking and defending, though, you can get good kills here. Obviously, the beacon position on the top of the tower. You can obviously spawn on these Sundays and get good fights in these areas as an attacker. But a lot of time when you get to this base, you have so much overpop, it's just not worth coming here. A lot of the times, though, I will drop a beacon here. Again, if it's TR and VS are fighting, have no other fights, I'll put a beacon on the tower and I'll just try to do what I can in the tower until there's something that's opening up on my front. Bastion, another pretty trafficked area, I'd say. Another tower triple. B point here, A point in the tower, C point here. Majority of the fight's actually going to be in the tower, with some bleed off down in this area. There's usually a Sunday spawn down here somewhere. And I don't mind attacking from this angle, and obviously defending from this angle as well. C point is just pretty exposed up to there, and usually this is like the last kind of point I'll push. You can push straight across the bridge. They have some, you know, ramps up here, and then usually their buses down here. You can get some fights in these little areas, but typically this is probably the best area on C. Actually, probably all of this right here, depending on where their bus is located. Otherwise, there's some grab pads right here. This is the lowest. This is some high ground here. You take these grab pads up, and then this, you know, tower is obviously above this as well. So you have kind of an overlook position on the B point. You can get some flanks on the sides here. A lot of people are just running up this, so you can kind of not camp this, but you can play this the side, same thing, like really shallow right here, really tight. Excuse me. Sometimes there's a bus in here, and that's where the main spawns are coming off of, or, you know, somewhere down here. You can use this high ground to your advantage. You know, very rarely is the fight going to be over here, but it's not bad when it's over here. Overall, Bastion's a good base. Another good base. A lot of the triples obviously are. Almost all the triples are, actually. And then you have Ascent super spread out, with B point being here, A point being down here, and C point being in here. Majority of my time is spent on this bridge right here. If I'm attacking a beacon here, I'll drop off and I'll just try to kill as many defenders that are camping this choke point on the tunnel here. Or I'll just try to kill people in the tower. Or I'll drop down after I kill people in the tower and I'll push kind of behind these angles here. But if I'm defending, typically this bridge is what I like to work. And if I can get through this bridge, there's a very narrow choke point, little roundabout right here, that if you can clear, it kind of opens up towards their spawn, you know, down in this area. And you can get a really good farm in on here, and you can kind of push close to the bus. And I rinse and repeat this for a long time. Once this becomes untenable, then, you know, I might switch up and use one of these back entrances to maybe get a flank on here. or I'll if there's sometimes there's a bus down here that I'll try to play the, because you'll have light infantry that kind of zigzag up this, a lot of kills in this area, or you can kind of, you know, kill a couple guys here that have run up a little bit further, and then cross down here towards this other bridge with a grab pad on it that usually has a lot of infantry or a bus on it. I'm gonna get a lot of kills here. So usually you can beacon over here, or you can just pull a flash and get around here pretty quick and get a good fight going on here. Other thing is on the bridge here, you can actually just spacebar jump all the way across this and kind of come in behind. So if this is super camped, there's maxes or whatnot in here, you can't get through this choke point here. You just spacebar across here, especially if the main bus is down here or even down here, and there's a lot of pop here. And you can get across this and kind of get behind it and get a really good infantry fight going here. I don't mind cave, it's just really far, and you can get some good fights inside of here if you're pushing towards the point. I don't muck too much with this up here. You know, there's another main bus spawn right in this area right by the cave. We'll kind of play this grab pad 2-story area right here. But on the defense, or I mean, I'm sorry, on the attack on the B point, if your bus is somewhere back here or over in this area, you can really get a good infantry fight going right here if the attackers are pressing you. Probably some of my best high kill KPM moments have been right in here. Just kind of holding this, killing all sorts of people here, and then dropping down here or working this angle as well. You know, sometimes the defender you can push close here and get towards the bus. Actually, I guess the bus spawns right here. And try to clear this area and get a little fight here. And then usually what happens is I'll try to clear this, and then I'll cut up the stairs here. This little landing where there's an infantry terminal, and then you can either choose to go this way and fight on the high ground here, and then get on top of this roof where the bus is at, and that's another good position. But this whole area is actually really good attacking and defending. Even down here, a lot of times this bus will get camped though from either inside, or a lot of vehicles kind of point down here, and a lot of infantry. So this bus can be a little scammas if it's the only bus available, but it's a good base all around. You get a lot of fights here because it's at the center of the map. Crux headquarters, another spread out base, not as good as Ascent, just for the type of fights I get here. A lot of ATG spam too. Main spawn here, no triple tower obviously to kind of anchor the defenders at. Then you have your teleporter here, A point, B point, C point. You know, main sunny spawns here, somewhere down here, over here on A, sometimes over here I see. So usually, you know, the main spawn's camped, so I take teleporter and I'll work this high ground up, and everything's kind of, you know, focused around the spawn here, so you can get a lot of people just sleeping in this L right here. And, you know, they start camping this, then you just can kind of rotate around to the back end here and come to this side door. This is super camped. Then usually you have less attention on the actual spawn. You can go back main spawn and kind of push back out here, and then put more pressure on the L building. Or then you can start trying to push and clear off this bridge towards C. Same thing coming down through here, using these rocks as cover to get access to this front door on C point, or even just work this back hall. This whole area, these two buildings are great for flanking in behind people and just getting picks or cutting off reinforcements that are coming off this bus and rolling up the bridge here. Back to B point. Once you secure B, a lot of the time that means the spawn's at A point, and you're going to have a trickle or a decent amount of players respawning and pushing back towards B, and you can really work some angles and shift W in this area, and then help try to clear out A point, and then play the surrounding kind of hill area back here. And then once A point's clear, you usually push back across the bridge, and you'll get a good fight here on the triple or down here on the Sunday. This area is usually pretty good, and the fight lasts a little longer. And then once that's gone, you just kind of clear up towards C. If there's a bus here, then you're still going to have a fight. Then obviously you just reverse that if you take C first, and then you're going to be rolling down towards the bridge and then fighting this area, and then pushing across the bridge and fighting towards C or B point. But again, typically the sun is going to be here. There's never really, I don't even know if you can deploy a bus over here. I'm assuming not, because I feel like I never see one. So Crux is a good base. A little more difficult because it's so exposed to A to G and just normal vehicles in general. NC Arsenal, probably one of my favorite triple bases of all time. Good solid base. A point, B point, C point, main spawn, teleporter here. This is a good base to attack and defend. You know, bus spawns over here, bus spawn here, bus spawn here, bus spawn here. Generally speaking, I always take teleporter. And I'll kind of just spacebar jump this and then come onto the roof here, because there's a lot of people camping this roof looking at spawn and the people that are coming down the stairs here. You can get a lot of good fighting on the roof here, and then once you clear this, you might be able to clear a little bit of attackers over here. But usually speaking, you're gonna shoot down into C point or across from you. But a lot of times I clear this, come here, shoot down to the C point, and then I'll jump down and actually fight on C point. I'll rinse and repeat this teleporter cycle for a long time. If that's not working, you can obviously kind of spacebar jump towards B roof. If they have the roof control though, that's not going to work. If they don't have the roof control and they're kind of suppressed towards their bus, there's a lot of fighting on these doors here, then you can just spacebar jump here, and before you get on the roof, you can jump off or play the roof, you know, from the roof. But you can jump off and get a really good fight in this area here, just to kind of separate you. Sometimes it's annoying to fight with like 30 other people around you running through you. Max is shooting you from your own team. C4 going off, grenades going, grenades bounce on the back of your head. You throwing grenades off the back of the heads of your friendly, etc. So sometimes it's just nice to use different angles that other people are not using to kind of work your own fight, but still support the fight. So this works really, really well. And sometimes if they're not spawning off there quick enough, you can even just kind of roll back this flank here and come in from behind C. And then obviously once you clear C, really once you clear B, then you usually push towards the Sunday. If there's no Sunday out here, then you're going to cut back towards A. If there's no Sunday out here on these two spots, then you're going to push towards A. If C is clear and there's no conglomerate of people here, then you're really just going to be fighting out this door or this door here and just picking up people that are coming off the spawns. I'm fighting this area, and then usually I push to this little hovel and I'll clear this, and then I'll, you know, push south or push north depending on where the bus is at. But man, this area is one of my favorites. Very, 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 very good fighting. And A point is just more disconnected from the actual spawn. It's the furthest point, so it's, you know, the least defended and the farthest from the point. So usually when it gets to A point, the fight's pretty much done. But it's the Arsenal, good base, fun base. Not a triple tower base, you know. So it makes it a little bit more unique, and it's pretty fun. I don't really mess with the tunnel anymore. I don't do all that. I don't really mess with the stuff all the way out here. I don't even know what the hell that is. Maybe it's a wall or something. Never been out there. That wraps up triples, which leaves singles. Kanye Fortress, Quaddy Fortress. I don't know why I like this base. Main spawn here with a teleporter into the L. But something about the teleporter, man. I love the teleporter and fighting in this L building. And if you go upstairs, there's this little balcony here that kind of overlooks the point. But I love the fight right here. Even attacking, I like the fight in this area. Now obviously the point's here. You can get some good fights in this area, or even some fights back here, around where their bus spawns are at. But I like Quaddy Fortress. I do. I don't know why. I don't really have much information. I don't really get to fight here very often, and usually the fights are a little bit smaller, but I do like this fight. Lithcourt Fortress gets a lot of action. Main spawn here, teleporter here. I typically always take the teleporter and take the grab pad over, and I usually clear this way towards point, or I'll clear this way and kind of backtrack up the little grab pad here and then try to clear out the triple. Man. Attacking spawns can be in here once they actually get these gens down, but these are a lot of fun to fight in, attacking or defending. And once they get bogged down, obviously not so much fun to fight in. One max can kind of ruin that. But both of these are fun. You know, there's just these little tunnel entrances, I guess. Both triples are fun to fight in. You know, going up and down these grab paths is really super dangerous. I don't really fuck with that shit. Dangerous even coming up those as the attacker, obviously. So I'll usually try to work one of these back angles here if I'm spawning on it. I do like this base. It's a lot of the time it's a dog shit base because of the overpop or the vehicles. But when this fight's good, it's good, and I love the ability to kind of split the base in half. And again, it's all about flanking and catching people off guard. Because when you're fighting overpop, it doesn't really matter how good you are. I mean, yes, that's a huge factor of it. But if your only approach is taking this jump pad over and you have 30 people watching you and a couple bolts and some A2G and some tanks, it's just not really realistic with how good you are. You want to, you know, when you're fighting so many players, you want to work the flank, you want to work the angles that people are not expecting you to come from. But anyway, good base. Motorpool is an interesting base. A lot of the time it's dog water, just because main spawn, teleporter, huge areas exposed to camping and vehicles, A to G, you know, harassers and BS snipers up here. But I almost always take teleporter. I'll try to clear this if it's a threat. Otherwise, I just push, you know, super backside, or I'll push inside these little buildings and kind of zigzag in and out. And then back out, wait for some shields. Okay, they're pushing me. I got them on the Q spot, and then I'll push back, kill them, and then push through. A lot of fun in this area. You can get some good times in this area too, with the kind of like the bushes and the cover. But you almost always hit this back door, or I'll come, you know, circle around and then try to kill or clear off the L. You can get some good fights in the I, or even all the way back here where the, you know, sunny spawn is, and there's sunny spawns back here. Very rarely is this a good infantry fight, but when it is an infantry fight, it can be fun. I don't mind this space. Auger, super high traffic area. Get the bridge here, bridge here. This is the most traffic right in this area. A lot of, you know, spawns coming from here, or there's spawns further back, and people are always coming up these stairs here, or there's a spawn back here, and people will come up the stairs here. 8 points here. You can, you know, usually there's a good fight in here. Even if the pops are bad in the eye here, you can get a good fight right in here, right off the rip, right off the base. Usually when this is open though, and they're all kind of camping back, there's 2 Meg Riders over here and some A to G, can be really rough. But if you're able to get across the bridge, or even get a bridge fight here or here, and the pop's a little bit shallower, it's not bad. And especially when you fight right behind here before you push in, really good area. Then you have options on skinny. You have double doors. You can flank around the back in here and get a good fight in this area. You know, if there's a spawn back here, a spawn back here, and they're kind of funneling in or dropping off these points, you can pick up a lot of people. Or you can really get a good flank on here. You know, heaven forbid there's any spawns. But if you clear everything and the timing's right, you can come in towards fat, and you can kind of clear off pointer or push up fat and, you know, clear off the hallway and skinny, or even dubs to help you, you know, walk the boys in. So I like this base. I don't mind attacking or defending this base. You know, preferably when the spawns are over here. I think for attackers, this one's not so good. Sungray Power. Another base that can be really, really bad, even infantry v infantry, because typically the only bus spawn is here 90% of the time. And obviously you don't want to be camped in when you're camped in this building. But if you can get through this double stack, you can get some really good fighting in here. A lot of times you're going to have people camping on the balcony, which is rough. Or 1 max controlling the staircase here, which is obviously bad news. But when the attackers are able to just kind of secure the point, or secure the fight into this area, it's usually pretty good. 8 point being here, teleport takes you here, and then you gotta run down this and then take a grab pad up here. It's a little weird. But you get some really good fighting in the I building, really good fighting in this area. Great angles from the flanks over here towards the cover that's here, or even the cover that's here, and you can get some good flanks on the back end, go up the stairs here and attack the point. I do like this base. When it's good, it's great. When it's good, it's great. But sometimes 1 max can really kind of muck it up. Sungray West, probably one of my favorite bases in the entire game. Definitely one of my favorite bases on Amerish. It's a little hard to break down because it's another tiered base. Main spawn's here. Teleporter takes you downstairs. You can go left or right, and then you can go up these grab pads on the left or right to get you to the 2nd floor. Sometimes those are camped, and when those are camped, you can actually just bypass them and go straight all the way down here to the stairs, and you go up the stairs. Because this is the main Sunday spawn for the attackers. You know, there's some other ones around or whatnot, but this is the main Sunday garage spawn for them. And typically they run out, they go left, they go right, and then they go up these stairs, and they attack these doors here. But if you go down the stairs actually take you all the way to the grab pads. So really attackers or defenders can use this as super long flanks when nothing else is working, and you can pick up people auto running out of the spawn, shift Wing crazy. You know, you can catch people reading chat on their streams because they're like, oh, it's gonna take me a while to get to the fight. So really good for attackers and defenders to push these long kind of flanks out. Otherwise, you take the grab teleporter up, you kill these people here, you push up these back stairs, and then you're fighting on that triple, right? This base is just a lot of fun. You can also push out a main spawn, come in straight these doors here. Those are usually camped. There's three entrances, but you have these back balconies here that have side doors on them. Good for flanking as well. Usually there's bolts and whatnot camping this, but there's just a lot of options on this base. Light assault straight to the point from the spawn, etc. So I love this base attacking and defending it. Usually it's a great tug of war back and forth between both sides. You can get some really good farms here. Even with the maxes though, there's a lot of ways to avoid, option A and B are closed off. I can use C and D. C and D are not working anymore. I can go back to option B, etc. So I like this base a lot. Very fun. I'm definitely going to need to do a video just of Sungrey West, so I can actually kind of show you guys the base a little bit better. Sungrey Overwatch, don't really get to fight here anymore. Again, a lot of these bases used to be early morning bases where the Zerg would kind of push towards your warp gate and you'd get to fight at these more obscure bases by the warp gate. But with the new kind of, focus on the center, you don't really, you just don't have a choice to fight over here actually. But hopefully that will change with this kind of recent update with, them opening up the sides of the map. But I mean, we'll see. Sungrey Overwatch is fun. I prefer when the sunny spawns are here or here. I'm not a fan so much of the bridges just because they're just naturally long choke points. That being said, main spawn here, teleporter here. I don't ever really mess with this area. And once in a while, there's light assaults coming over from a weird bus, but I don't mess with this area very often. Typically, I'm going to push straight up here to dubs. That can be camped a lot. There's, going to be a bolt or something over here camping the approach. So typically speaking, I clear triple, and then I'll fight right in this hallway / towards this bus. And once that's done, I'll hit door 3. Maybe I'll clear this area, make sure there's nobody approaching me from behind. Then I'll play door 3 / this back area towards door 1. And if once we clear off the point, then I'm either playing off of this door, or typically speaking, okay, I'm gonna die eventually. I'm gonna respawn here, and I'm gonna use balcony. Space bar up, get on balcony, and then try to clear out the triple. And depending on where their bus is, I'm always fighting towards the bus for the most part, because I need the kills, right? If there's 1 or 2 light assaults coming over here, it just doesn't make sense for me to be over here to kill them. I want to be where there's a lot of people, so I just continuously push towards the spawn. So the spawn's down here, you clear triple, then you're going to be working this back alleyway here, and then you're going to be attacking all the approaching targets over here. Same thing here. You want to secure this outside area, and then you want to push across the bridge, or vice versa. If the spawn's over here, you can push across this bridge. It's a good base. Again, don't get to fight here all the time. It's not that bad for attacking, honestly, and it plays pretty similarly. You really want to take this triple building because it's so close to the spawn. It just kind of denies a lot of the push out and buys a lot of time for whoever's on point. Hidden Ridge, another one we don't get to fight out a lot. Main spawn here. Points underground here. These are just grab pads that go down and up to get you access to the point. I think typically the sunny spawns are down here. And then, these are just staircases that you run up. Double stack here. But you can spawn out right here, and you can just take these stairs down into the tunnels to get to the point. There's a deep flanking tunnel here that takes you to the grab pads and then back to the point. And then there's some tunnels that take you out here. And another one I think that loops around towards the grab pads. Can't remember. Is it are there 4 entrances, or maybe it's only 3? I know there's definitely 2 on this side and 1 back here, but I want to say there's 4. It might only be 3 actually. With these 2 here and then that one in the back. But sometimes you can come out the spawn here and then, clear out this area. A lot of good fighting in here. And then drop down and flank on the point or on the grab pads, or sometimes there's a lot of people coming down through here. I think you can, ample heavy a bus in or something. I might be wrong. There's these little slits here that you can get in towards the ground level to the point, and you can kind of camp this from the side angle. Or you can just push out the main spawn fight from the L, and then push. Eventually you want to get to this point though, because you can get a really good farm in this double stack slash stair area, and then just rinse and repeat. Okay. East Shore Training Camp. This is a very large trafficking area. Main bus spawn here, over here. Sometimes there's one back here for attackers. Main spawn here, teleporter here. You know, I will spawn at the main and push in skinny or door 3. A lot of the time it's camped. Or there's AGG over here, so I'll just take teleporter. I'll flank this, clear off, you know, 1 or 2 guys here. And I'm always working to clear this. And then cut off reinforcements coming in from the spawn point over here, or, you know, from across the street from this entrance. But typically I clear this and then I try to push dubs. And try to help the boys that are pushing in from door 3 and skinny. Let's see here. Once this is secured though, and let's say we also have the point, then you can kind of push down towards I. And then you kind of get the farm slash fight going towards the bus. Same thing here. You secure this and the bus is over here. You're just going to start working these obstacles here to your advantage. And then funneling everything towards the entrance here. Same thing here. Use this big rock to your advantage. Play around that. Play around the other smaller obstacles to kind of funnel everything towards this entrance here. Again, this base gets a lot of action. It's a good base though, attacking and defending, honestly. Most bases are rough on the attackers, just because of the spawns that you get. But I don't mind this base, it can be fun. Black Shard Tungsten I really like. Again, don't get to fight here often, but a lot of times you do fight here, it's a smaller fight. Even 12 to 24, 24 to 48, this is a great fight. Main spawn here, I think teleporters over here. There's a staircase here and then kind of loops around here, and then there's usually a bus spawn underneath this, which I think is the main bus spawn, or you can have one out somewhere down here. There's this weird like grab pad jump thing over here, and then they get up from this side. But you can get some really good fighting in here. Usually the spawn's camped, you can get some great fighting in here, and you kind of just go back and forth. You kind of play some mind games on the attackers here. Then eventually you clear this out, and then you're going to push out this V or push out this double stack here. But there's some back kind of flanks here that really, again, you can just really play mind games with the attackers, zigzagging out different areas, and then, you know, looping back towards the V, and then they're distracted, and you can kind of come back around. Or there's a wall here you can jump up on, and, you know, pick up reinforcements that are coming up the stairs here, or just get quick access to get down the stairs to, you know, fight towards the bus. Obviously the point's all the way out here. It's just it's a weird area, but, you know, obviously you can get some good fights all the way out here. There's usually people up in the rocks. Sometimes, you know, this is obviously the vehicle path, but sometimes there's infantry on this as well. This area is not bad when they're jumping up these pads. It can be a lot of fun. Arachne Com Network Hub. I don't know if this is a base I actually like, or I just fight here all the fucking time. Main primary spawns right in here. You know, there's other bus spawns back here, but they're just so far. Cause you get bogged down here a lot. Once you get people on the roof and they're camping right here, the staircase is up. Obviously, you're out of there. You're done. But you can obviously beacon on the roof and things like that, but that doesn't stabilize for that long. Main spawn here, teleporter here underneath the base. Then it just shoots you out right here. And then you can try to come up these back stairs or come up, you know, well, actually it has to be these back stairs, yeah. But generally speaking, most of your spawn comes here, goes double doors, gets kind of clogged down here by the attackers that are holding the point. Not a lot of things are going on here, so I typically try to flank small stairs or door 3 right down here if that's being camped, or door 2. Then you just get that flank on the back end and play off a hallway onto the point itself. But you can do the same thing when you're attacking and you hold this. I usually almost always go down skinny, and I'll try to play this area. And then try to set up some flanks on the back end here to get behind the people that are camping up here that haven't pushed on the point yet. That was pretty good base. You can get some fights out here once they get pushed out. And obviously once it's pushing towards the bus, it's pretty much done. Same thing down here. You can get some extra kills if you're waiting for the next fight, etc. Raven Landing, another one of the main three in the center. I actually really like this fight. Points here, main spawns here, uses teleporter over here. We had a weird fight over here the other day for like an hour and a half. That never happens. Typically speaking, when the fight's over here, it's dog water. I don't like the bridges. Naturally, it makes people switch to bolter. So it's very hard to push across that, and you're always forcing kills there. I mean, you can do some work here, but main sunny spawn here, main sunny spawn down here, main sunny spawn over here. You can get some good fights in this little area here, but again, once you kind of get really close to the buses and you start camping them, it's over. But sometimes the spawns are just too heavy and it's just only a couple people, like me and like 2 or 3 other people that are fighting, like, you know, a squad plus, so you can get some good kills in this area. But typically speaking, it's main spawn to the triple, clear out the triple, then come balcony and then push straight down towards this kind of back balcony here. Usually there's a lot of people on this. You can get some good kills. If you're super aggressive, you might get pushed off of this into the ground, and then you're just going to roll this back end up to this side door here to help clear out this L. Once you have the L and you're kind of stuck here, your pop stuck here, and you're getting huge spawns from down here, and there's a big fight right outside here with a lot of the, you know, attackers here. You can actually just roll this corner right here super aggressively with Shift W, and you know, you can usually clean this up and get hella kills right here because they're all focused, you know, on the north side. A lot of medics down here too with their res tools out. Then obviously you're just pushing to this single stack building here, and then playing out. Once it gets here, the fight's over, obviously. Again, I'm not a fan of this area of the fight. Even when the bus is down here, I'm not really a fan of this area. It just becomes a little campy and the battlefield gets really stalled out. And then attacking, obviously you want this triple, you want to hold the triple. Otherwise it's just the normal, you know, L building hold. But I like to take the point and then push off the point and play, you know, aggressive off point, so to speak, at most bases. Heyoka Armory. Actually I haven't fought here in a little bit. You know, you get sunny spawns down here, some sunny spawns over here. This one's kind of hard to talk about because of it's in their tiered base. Main spawn here with a teleporter underneath that takes you underneath. I almost always take the teleporter. I'm not going to talk about this one too much just because it's hard to explain given how the base is tiered out. We'll try to do a good farm fight here, and then we'll discuss the base at that time. But this is just a fun base to attack or defend, honestly. Deep core geo, main spawn, teleporter. Usually this main spawn approach towards the point is camped. 1 max will lock this down, so usually you take teleporter. I almost always zigzag around here, come down, hit the grab pads here, and then I'm in this L building flank. If there's people in here, they're looking out towards the west, or I'm sorry, the east. So usually they're free here the first 1 or 2 times. Once they catch on, then usually you're gonna have a big fight. I mean, honestly, they'll even push all the way up towards your teleporter once they really figure things out. But you know, once you can't rinse and repeat this anymore, you take teleporter, you clear this, and then you go for the long deep flank across the bridge, and then kind of pick up the, you know, the sunny spawn areas down here, this overhang. You kind of just pick up those guys that are spawning in, and then you try to, you know, show your back, and then kind of cut down here for this kind of nutty long flank. Doesn't work out very often, but if that's your only option, is this bridge, it's your only option. Otherwise, you're, you know, main spawn, trying to clear out this double stack, and then pushing out towards the point. You can beacon on really either L. This L obviously gets you access towards the point, so you can fight inside of this and, you know, just give different angles to the guys that are on the actual A point itself. Or you can clean, if you're able to clean out this L, you're able to come out here, clean out this area. There's usually a lot of people camping this overhang that overwatches from, you know, the spawn. If we have defenders secured this, they're going to be pushing out. You can get some picks here, and then you can kind of overwatch over the point itself, and then support anybody, you know, kind of pushing up from the main spawn. Big staircase here, so there's usually a lot of people. If the defender's on the point but the attackers are only this, you clear out L, and then you have, you know, free reign on these people here. There's enough cover where you can kind of bob and weave in and out and get some good kills there. Cobalt Communications. It's a weird base, honestly, and usually actually the fights are pretty small. I don't even know what this shit is over here. Maybe this is the V term. I don't even understand. I don't even know what this stuff is, because I typically almost always take the teleporter. You can take the most direct path, but usually there's people on the rooftop here, or concealed bolters, disgusting as they are. So typically I almost always take the back bridge approach. There's the window here. Usually there's somebody standing that you got to kill. There's this double crate here that somebody's on, and there's always the reinforcement funnel point, this back door that you're going to be killing a lot of people here. If there's not a lot of spawns because you just spawned in and no one's actually died from the attackers, then you're just going to come down here and push this back door, because you can technically kind of sneak by this railing so no one's really seen you on the roof. But this door and then this stairs here is always going to have the most focus. So it makes more sense to go in this back door here and then clear these back stairs. You can get some really good fights in over here, bus spawn somewhere in here. But you can get some good, really good fights actually in here, and just kind of rinse and repeat. A little bit of tug of war sometimes on the point. This area, this high ground over here isn't necessarily bad, but it's not nearly as good as this area. This 90-degree angle is phenomenal for spawn reinforcements coming in that you can get a lot of kills on. Sometimes they'll take main spawn. It's just the angle here. You're super exposed to the roof, the balcony, the high ground over here. So I don't usually mess with this unless I'm going to be pushing this area here. But Cobalt Communications is a pretty good base. I like it when the pops are a little smaller. Genuine Physics Lab is probably another one of my favorite Amerish spaces. Main spawn here, teleporter here. Typically speaking, I just take the main spawn and I'll try to clear out triple. If this is super camp, I'll take teleporter, go to one of those two doors to clear out triple. Then once I clear triple, I come to balcony. Most of the time, this area is camped by this the crates that are right here, or there's a max or something, with an NG of course on it, so you just can't kill him. So usually what happens is I'll die, or I'll go back downstairs and I'll come out this door here and I'll push stairs. I'll kill the couple people over here if there's any. I'll come this backside. I'll get the flank on here. I won't even usually mess with the point. I'll just try to clear this out here, support this clear out here so my guys can push up. Because the point fight usually takes a while, just because it's a clusterfuck and there's usually a max or something stupid in there. Then it progresses to kind of like this back end of the base, or the point, I'm sorry, the back end of the point, and then into this double stack, down this hallway, and then into this double stack, towards the sunny spawn here. Always somebody pulling a lightning trying to pop the bus. I don't mind this for attackers. Obviously, I don't mind it for defenders either. You can get a really long flank through the staircase here and pick up a lot of, spawning reinforcements, or people that are spawning in from the bus and coming this way, or trying to get in through this side, and get a good little fighting going right here too. Or even on this back hallway. Which is nice. It's a small base, but provides some decent angles to it, honestly. Some different options, so you're not just spawning here, running in here, dying, spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. You have other options at Genuine, and I like that. And usually it plays out pretty well. There's not a lot of vehicles camping you. Ground vehicles. Obviously, HG can play here pretty well and make things frustrating, but I do like this base a lot. Welcome up shipping dock. Another one of my favorite bases on Amerish. Main spawn here, main spawn teleporter takes you very close towards the point. Because I'm pretty sure the bus spawns can only be back here because of the radius, which looks pretty balanced with the main spawn, but as soon as you take the teleporter, it cheats you so close to the A point that it's just ridiculous. If you're attacking, obviously you want to control the L building, and then you're going to push in through these tunnel entrances to the point here in the center. And then obviously there's two entrances here and here. But typically speaking, I take teleporter, I go north, I clear this out if there's anyone camping it, or I clear the triple if there's anyone camping it, and then I either use either one of these side doors to put pressure on the point, or on the reinforcements kind of coming in from the side. I'll play down here because people will always take a weird angle from the spawns and just kind of push straight over here. There's usually people to kill, or you can come up here, clear tower, and then push down tower and get a good flank on the reinforcements over here. I don't know. I like this base a lot. I like this base a lot. Obviously, the point's underground. Most of the triples underground, so you're not having to deal with a lot of vehicles to get to the actual point. I do appreciate that. I like attacking as well this base. I don't mind it. Obviously, your goal is to secure the triple if you're attacking and kind of camp this teleporter, or it's kind of like this rotation of where you come down the stairs, you check teleporter, you go up the stairs, you check this main spawn entrance here, and vice versa. Mocha Watchtower, I don't get a lot of action at anymore. Again, I think due to the early morning, afternoon fights are always, everything's centered around here. And very rarely are we getting fights on these kind of outskirts anymore. Again, that might change with this new update. We'll see. It's actually a triple or single point triple tower, which is fun. With some high ground over here. But a lot of time you just come off of the air pad, you drop down on the roof, and you play off of door 3 here to kill the people on the point. The point is right here. Or if you own the point, then you're either dropping down and coming in dubs, or dropping down and coming off of door 3, and then you're fighting reinforcements. Bus spawn somewhere out here. You're fighting off reinforcements that are coming in this area. They're coming from this side, then you're fighting in the L building here, and you're killing people crossing the street, and you're trying to cross the street yourself. There's good fights in this area on the high ground as well. Obviously, it's the tower. You're gonna have a good fight in the tower. I don't mind attacking this base either. I actually enjoy attacking this base. Obviously, you have tower access beacon, but even the setting spawns here can be pretty decent, and the fight action on the point isn't so bad. So I actually have a lot of fun on Woke Watchtower as well. Tormir Storage Yard, another early daytime fight, afternoon fight that I really haven't fought here in a long time. Main spawn here, teleporter here. This is like you can go underground underneath this. There's a staircase on the back, leads you to the back door on this double stack. Staircase here leads you to the back door. This is main spawn's usually camp, so if you can't clear towards the main, then you always take teleporter and you go to the back side. There's an entrance here to the outside that you can get some good fights going on in this area. But typically speaking, you're gonna once you control the interior, there's these one story huts. You go in, you come out. You go in, you come out. You can get some good fights in this area. Good fights in this area too. I know not a base I get to fight at very much anymore, but I do like this base, especially when the fight's a little smaller. 12-24, 24-48, it can be pretty good. High Road Station. Again, don't get to fight here a lot. I'm not going to talk too much about this one. Main spawn here, teleport over here, because it's another tiered base. Main sunny spawn for attackers is here with this L building very close. But people are so confused at how to play at this base or where to go that they kind of funnel even more than they normally do at other bases, and you can get some really good fights attacking or defending, honestly. This is a triple with the point in it, and then the triple actually comes up to the roof here, and you can play this roof a little bit further and get some good camps if you're attacking on the defense here, or even on their teleporter here. And then obviously if you're defending, you're trying to push for this L building here for the camp. Again, it's a base that once we actually get a good fight there, we'll try to record it and then kind of discuss it, because it's very difficult to break apart when you're just looking at it here due to it's just two-dimensional, so to speak. So that actually sums up Amerish. Whew, that's the second time I did that, so we kind of burnt through that. Hopefully that made sense. If you guys have different bases that you like, or bases that we talked about that you don't like, try to stay away from the A to G spam and the vehicle spam. In most bases, it makes the fight terrible. But for infantry fights, let me know you guys' thoughts. Comment below, like, subscribe if you're not already. We'll try to get Hassan out next. We're gonna wait on Esmer with the new update coming for containment sites, and then there's some minor tweaks to Esmer. So I don't think it will take that long to actually learn and figure out the new Esmer once it drops, and then we'll do a video on that one as well. But hopefully you guys found that interesting, give you a little bit of insights, and yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.